the Center for Family Health is inviting you to get a flu shot and be a flu fighter this flu and COVID season. It's more important now than ever before. Visit the Center for Family Health. You can visit the walk-in clinic. No appointment is necessary. The Center for Family Health has been opening the door to health care for all for more than 30 years.
Joining us now from U.S. Staffing Agency, Head of Business Development, Jim Dolson.
Yeah, thanks,
Good morning,
guys.
Jim.
Hey, good morning.
Happy Wednesday, snowy morning, I guess,
Wednesday,
right?
we got snow, we've got donuts. It's been a good day so
Kids
far.
are off from school. It'd be a good day to be a kid today. Stay home from work.
Yeah, I finished my donut.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I got like nothing. Like what I'm talking about can't even hold a candle to what you guys just did.
No, but it's important. It's unbelievable. We get so much
Yeah.
out of our conversations with you. And
Yeah.
last time we started to talk about the demographic cliff.
Yes.
And we're going to expand upon that a little bit today.
Yeah, for sure. So what we're talking about today is a couple terms that they're not really new thoughts, but they are like newly labeled, called upskilling and reskilling your employees. So think about like this, upskilling is when you've got an employee and you need to just like take them to a new level, kind of in their current position.
Sure.
Whereas reskilling is, you're going to take an employee and move them to a completely different career path, if you will.
Interesting.
So for example, maybe you're a business owner and you got a production floor, you got a machine operator. That person's out there running equipment all day long, and you need for them to be a supervisor someday. So you're going to upskill them. They're going to stay in the production lane, but they're going to be upskilled. Whereas if you take that same machine operator and say, you know what, I'm going to make you a salesperson now. You're going to reskill them, completely different career path. So
I
gives
can tell
people
you
an
right now,
opportunity to jump.
that won't work.
That's not going to work.
No.
Many people have tried to reskill Bart, and it just doesn't work, right?
No, we in manufacturing we have heard that quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's a pretty common story in that industry. Why should we reskill our current workforce instead of trying to find new?
Well, it may be important to remember like how we got here.
Right.
Okay. Because employers are really tasked right now more with using their current resources, their current employees, to fill those open positions instead of looking to the outside. So if you just look back 3 years ago, okay, so March 2020, we all know what happened then.
Yeah.
Massive layoffs, right? Millions of people throughout the country laid off. They go home, they get their incentive checks, and then a few months later, businesses start to open back up, and people are saying, nope, not feeling, don't want to go back to work, got my incentive check. So now employers have to raise their wages.
Yes.
So now we have this wage inflation going on, a race to the top. So people do come back to work and they start job hopping a lot. The great resignation takes place, okay?
Yeah.
That happens, and then people kind of settle down a little bit. We go into this new phase called, things are not new here under the sun, they're just different labeled, quiet quitting. Quiet quitting, a lot of people started doing that. They just stayed in their jobs. They did, as we like to say, what we read about, they do the minimum to keep their job, not to get fired, okay? They're not going to go above and beyond. And then from there, people kind of settle down, that ends. And now we're in this phase of career cushioning, career padding, whatever term you want to put on it. And it's kind of like, it's from the dating scene where, you know, people they got this job over here, but just in case it doesn't work out, they've got some other things that they're courting. And so employers have figured out, hey, that's what employees are doing. So as an employer or business owner, I'm going to respond differently. I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm going to reskill current employees, or I'm going to upskill them. So
Is loyalty still an important factor in business, Jim?
I don't even know what that word is. Yep. I mean, I can only speak just from my observations.
Sure.
And we can talk to other people, but loyalty is not a thing anymore. It's not like it was perhaps when I started in the workforce, where when you went to work someplace, you thought you were going to be there for 20 or 30 years.
Right.
I mean, that was kind of the mindset.
Yeah.
That is not even close to what people are thinking today.
The young
If you
folks.
came for 2 years, you probably
And it makes it hard for employers to hire, right? Because you know, candidly, you know that some of these folks are already looking for the next jump. So it's very, very tricky.
We tell employers when we're asked by business owners, we tell them, listen, just assume people are going to leave within a year. You know, within months in some cases, within days in other cases, but just assume people are going to be leaving, no matter what you do. But reskilling and upskilling does have some advantages for employers. One thing that is for sure, as an employer, if you can offer career advancement opportunities to people by retraining them. You're going to have a better motivated workforce. Retention is probably going to go up. You know, that turnover is going to go down. The cost of retraining people is a lot less than the cost of having somebody leave, recruit people, bring them in, retrain them. I mean, some estimates are like 1.5 times the salary just to recruit, bring on board, and retrain people. So that's pretty stiff.
Yeah.
I think too, another advantage for employers is they can use this reskill and upskill tactic to their advantage when they're recruiting people to attract people to their business. So.
Yeah. Now you guys are busy not just in mid-Michigan. You guys are busy around the country. Just opened a new location.
Yes.
You've been in Clarksville, correct?
Yeah. So we didn't open a new location.
Right.
We actually moved. So we got for about the same lease cost. We got in a better spot and a huge location. So if you know the Jackson location here, you know about the size of that footprint. Yeah. What we got in Clarksville right now is about 3/4 of that. It's we call it the hub of the South.
Nice.
So
Very nice.
Be a launch pad for us to go from there. So
upscaling and or upskilling and reskilling.
We like upscaling too.
Yeah, upscaling too. Yeah.
We upsell
I'm
people all the
thinking
time.
Brandon's going to be the sales manager starting at 10:10 today. We're gonna upscale it.
Perfect. And employers, because, and everyone knows that it's harder to find people, the employees or potential employees, they're sitting in the driver's seat.
They are.
For
I
sure.
mean, they really have the perch on, at least at this time in our economy, they have the perch seat and they get to drive a lot. But there are some things that employers can do in spite of all the noise that's in front of them. One of the things that they can do is they can look 3 to 5 years out, let's say, and say, hey, I think I need these skills here. I mean, you got to have some vision to know what you're going to have to need out there, and then start connecting people in your current organization to that. And as you find those people, then you can start retraining them and tying their training to their performance reviews. Okay, say, hey, I need you to be the sales manager. So here's some performance reviews objectives that you got to do. And they can also provide stretch assignments as they go. You know, maybe that machine operator on the floor, you want to see, is that person going to do good as a supervisor? Maybe that supervisor goes on vacation for a week. Put that person in that position and see how they do. Give them some stretch assignments. And then every company has expertise in some area, some internal expert on something that you're going to need. Have that person mentor somebody else and prepare that person for that. You know, that 3 to 5 window that's out there when you're going to need them. So employers there's the things that they can do to help themselves here.
It's great advice.
Yeah, and that's really what we do here. I think during the pandemic, when people went missing,
right,
there were jobs that people had to be cross-trained for.
Yeah, and the cross-training is another way to, if you want to summarize it, upskilling and reskilling is that building the bench strength on the, to put in a team metaphor, the cross-training, and we already started doing that anyways during the pandemic for sure because we had to survive.
Yeah.
Right? Just for doing that. So.
Yeah, and it sounds like people are coming back to the office slowly. Carolyn Bloodworth at Consumers Energy told me yesterday the place felt like it was back to normal.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign.
There's not tumbleweeds blowing through the cubicle ways. People are actually starting to come back in either with remote work or hybrid of that. So,
Jim, we always enjoy your visits, and we're going to start implementing some of that right away at 10 o'clock, just like we talked about.
At 10:10.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a great rest of the week. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Jim Dolson from U.S. Staffing Agency. More of the morning show right after this quick break.